Bridge Zone. Welcome back to my adventures in Sonic the Hedgehog, and we're going to Bridge Zone. So yeah, we're back in the 8-bit version now. So the way I've been handling this is trying to handle it in a way that I think fits in a sort of thematic sense. So we're still in a green hillish area, so that's why Bridge Zone makes sense to follow suit rather than the 8-bit, the 16-bit Sega Genesis version level. But we will get to that next. But for now, let's do Bridge Zone. And Bridge Zone's one of the better zones in the game. It's got great music. The zone's not too hard, but there are going to be some challenges that we'll get to later. And I like the gimmick idea, at least for now. The bridge is, climbing across bridges to get to the next area is pretty interesting. Act 2 makes it a little more annoying, but we'll see that once we get there. And we have this interesting gimmick here of, I don't know what you would call it, bouncing weights and things. And I don't think I talked about that yet. That is a checkpoint. So, in this game, checkpoints are arrows that obviously point down, and basically you just spawn on top of that when you die. Thankfully that hasn't happened yet, but now it will. Yeah. Again, post commentary. So yeah, you just spawn it. I don't think you have to hit it again, but I always like to hit it again. This is another case where I'm just trying to get all the rings, because again, it's easier to do it here than it will be to do it in later stages. And I'm going to die a few times before I get to the end of this game. I'm going to be dying a lot of times. And, well, right now I only have 3 lives, so that's not a good sign of things to come. But yeah, otherwise, Bridge Zone's still a pretty good zone in the game. It might be my favorite, but I don't know. So yeah, to talk a bit about the badniks, we actually saw a Buzz Bomber there. We've seen Buzz Bombers in the other 2 stages, and they carry over here. Buzz Bombers are a classic, but they get kind of dropped after a while, and take a long time before they get put back in the regular games. And watch out for that spring, because that will kill you if you're not careful. And this happened to me many a time. And I don't know what I'm doing there. No, turn it. What are you doing? There you go. Anyway. Yeah. It's a classic badnik, and it took a while to be brought back, but now that it is back, it's great. Oh, we have Buzz Bomber again. But there are some other badniks that I like even more. Not so much Chompers. Chompers are kind of annoying. But they were also in Green Hill Zone, but only in the Sega Genesis version. Oh, and there's our Chaos Emerald. So, this isn't that hard to get, but it can be if you're not careful. So, I got it there pretty easily. And you got a few tries because the bridge collapses 1 piece at a time. So, if the worst should happen, like nearly falling off, then you still get a couple other tries. Just be careful with it. And I also didn't explain this. So, getting the exclamation mark is essentially a sign that you have gotten to go to the special stage. But again, you always will do it if you cross the signpost with 50 rings. Very similar to the Sega Genesis version. Unlike the Sega Genesis version, we're playing this stage. This kind of special stage is pretty annoying, because even though it's got platforming, you don't really use it. You just use the springs and the bumpers and get blasted apart, because the bumpers are really tough to bounce against. So yeah, I'm not even really trying that hard. I'm just trying to get over to that platform, and I missed. I can't get back up, so we're going to have to take our chances with this spring. Like, look at this. Look at that. Like, I'm trying not to fall down this pit, and then I just did. So now I won't get as many rings. I tried to climb back up, which isn't a very easy thing to do with these bumpers, and Now I'm stuck again. And then I just gave up. Dang you, Eggman. I mean, it is his fault, right? I mean, if I didn't have to grow running around South Island, then I wouldn't have to deal with those special stages. No, whatever. Point is, this is South Island, by the way. The name of this island. Which always made me wonder how to die. But it also made me wonder, when are we going to get to see North Island? I have a little theory that maybe you could say that the Never Lake and where Little Planet appears is North Island, but that's more just for the sake of, oh, it's a fun idea. And so yeah, those enemies are called spikes, and spikes are more notable for appearing in a stage later on in the Sega Genesis called Spring Yard Zone, but they appear here as well, and yeah, it's kind of a weird name for them to have. I mean, we already have the, trap, the obstacle spikes, so why are they, why do we have these enemies called spikes as well? It's kind of weird. Oh well, it doesn't matter. They're an interesting enemy. They don't appear very often either. They've only started appearing again recently. I think Sonic Lost Worlds? I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I just missed a great, I don't want to say shortcut, but a great path to take, because not only do you not have to time your platforming so quickly here like I just did, but you could also, I think there's a checkpoint up there? I think so, yeah. So it's better if you can get that jumping right, but because it's a side-scrolling level, it's hard to do. And this is one of the few times that we have side-scrolling levels in Sonic. We actually have them more than you'd think, but yeah, they're a little annoying. But, yeah, side-scrolling levels, they are not what I enjoy in video games. I don't like the idea of just, I have to stand there and wait because the level is saying you gotta keep moving. Why? Why can't I just go? I would have gone normally anyway. Well, you have to wait. Well, why am I waiting? Is there something chasing me? Am I chasing something? Is this a stealth level? Am I secretly behind Eggman? Like, what's going on here? So I've never really seen a side scroll that I like where it does this thing. Okay, good, I did get up here now. And I celebrate a bit. Okay, yeah, I was right, checkpoint. So, because it's a checkpoint, now I don't have to worry about half of this stage. So it's very good to get up here, otherwise, yeah, it's going to be an annoying stage to do. But yeah, we've seen all the enemy. Oh, this life. It's worth getting. So, if you get it, try not to lose it, because it doesn't grow back. Unfortunately, these live monitors do not grow back like the checkpoint monitors do. So, yeah, don't waste it. But, man, that distracted me. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever really had a auto-scroller or side-scroller that I've really enjoyed playing that much, or at least that I've seen justify its side-scroller tendencies. I don't know. But I guess it's not like it's a super horrible, hard stage. It's just like, I just want to be done with it. It takes so much longer because you have to do it this way. But whatever. Now it's on. And now we can run normally. I was trying to see if I could go back real quick for some reason. Oh, so yeah. Because it landed on the Sonic face, I got an extra life. And because it gave 10,000 points, I got 2 extra lives. So, pretty great. Pretty great. Alright. But now we approach the boss acts. And let's just say I had a lot of problems with this one, so we're going to have a bit of a montage in a bit to get us through that. So, forgive me briefly. I'll let some music play to entertain, but make sure you get that live monitor, and if you have save states, you might want to use them just in case, because this boss isn't so hard as he is a bit of a glitchy mess. As you'll see now. Yeah, I had a bit of a rough time. But the boss actually isn't that hard. I had a combination of I was abusing glitches and getting punished for it, and I wasn't playing as well as I should be. This final time I play correctly. So basically, you want to hit him, and you can take a few hits if you want, but you have to avoid those shots. And the best way to do it is to roll, so that way you land in the bottom of that bridge, so that way you don't take damage, because the shots will never hit you as long as you're being careful. And again, I wasn't being careful. Even here, like, I made a mistake there. I was like, oh gosh, I didn't want to do that. And then I got lucky because, you know, you could still get very unlucky and be hit. So you got to be really careful with this one. If I remember correctly, this one's also very different in the Master System version, but, yeah. I barely touched that. Alright, well, whatever. We're done with Bridge Zone. We saved the piggies. Let's move on. I'll see you next time in my adventures in Marble Zone.